And you just can't show them anything. Well, I think we're back. I have no idea if that's actually true.
Yeah, because somebody just said, I like to poop. Everybody's writing about poop? Nice.
So is it the same link?
So it's actually on a different page, I think. There's like a different video currently live. You tell them, and then I don't know where the link is.
Somebody said, I eat poop and sleep.
That's.
What does that mean?
I like. There's like 3 people here. Like, what? What is this? We're on another live feed. I have no idea.
Can they just check your page?
They should be able to, but. You're offline. Why are you offline? Fuck you. Fuck you in the butt. I'm gonna message it to you on Facebook. 'Cause that's the only way I know how. Hey, that's us. What a terrible picture. Facebook. I think of the Frozen. Or is this the old one?
Oh, it says we're back.
Oh, nice. Oh, maybe I just paused it. Okay, never mind. We are not frozen. Hi, from Mexico. There are actually 7 people. 19 people are watching. It's working.
I'm not saying anything until 100 people are watching.
Well, comments are flying in. What up, guys? What state do you guys live in? I'm gonna just call people out. There's Jasper. There's ST. Oh, I think that's supposed to be S Tracers, but I actually read it like ST Racers. Austin Pika, Pacifica PC.
Oh, and the freezing starts, they say. Well, actually, they said that. And the No! And the freezing strats.
Oh, live feeds.
Do a backflip. Don't worry about the lag. Hey guys, great job on American Ninja Warrior. Jesse.
Jesse?
I mean, they didn't say Jesse, but
Let's show them another
we all
clip.
know who that is. This is a good one. Woo-hoo.
This is my favorite cat that I did the whole tour.
Dude, it's hard to read that fast.
I can't see that.
California,
I need
Canada,
to be this.
What time is it there? Hi, Idaho, Canada. Hi, Michigan, Mississippi, Alaska, California, Virginia, North Carolina, Hollywood, California, Seattle, Washington, Oregon, Mexico, Illinois. Oh, I can't do that one. That's way too long,
That's
guys.
a big one. All of a sudden, a
You
big
got
one
me.
came through. A lot of Colorado.
So how do I get the feedback with the comments?
Oh, you gotta go to YouTube. What? You good?
Never mind.
She's good. Everybody, they're good.
Everybody, they're good.
Okay. So,
See how big the lag is. Eventually, they'll see themselves back there and freak out.
New Jersey, love the 360, Alaska, New South Wales, Canada, Idaho. I'm not getting any of that. Say hi to Mexico. Hi, Mexico, Missouri. Shout out. Shout out to Hard Targets. Hard Targets, what's up? Any tips for doing a long, nice column? Just lag. No. I'm back, babe. It's froze.
let's
titties. I can do a backflip.
Hey,
flat.
I think we're
Okay.
good. If you guys want, Bree's back there writing down some of the more
Relevant questions.
relevant, interesting questions. So if you have any questions for Cory or I, please ask us now. Otherwise, I think we're going to continue talking. Sorry for the big
Oh.
confusion.
What was our favorite spot on the tour?
First question out of the gate. Favorite spot?
You go first. I gotta think.
That's a tough one.
I think my favorite experience was Wings Academy with Jason and Frang because it just happened and it was it was a surprise event. But I would have to say my favorite spot on the tour was
What was it?
the Red City.
The Red City.
I think the Red City was my favorite spot, and we barely got to train there because we got kicked off every 15 minutes by security guards, armed security.
How about we cut to a clip of you at the Red City?
Yeah, let's check out something from the Red City.
Rolling. Set. Rolling. Set. Rolling. Set. Rolling. Set. And we're back. Actually, I have a clip from the Red City. I think it's one of the weirdest things we got there.
What was it?
From me. It's like a strange leg wrap move.
Yeah, let's check it out.
This is going to be weird. But this is the stuff like we were developing while we were on tours. All this really interesting, weird ways to like do, I don't know, moves just in new ways. So here's the clip. Or not. Here's the clip.
Things that are coming into movement. That doesn't mean that every single thing that happens necessarily has to have a name, but it's there to make the trick a little more interesting, maybe a little more difficult, and to really grab people's attention.
Yeah, and I don't think like it's not flashy. It's not something that like if I threw in a competition, people are gonna like a crowd is even gonna be able to see that, you know.
Right.
But I think doing things like this is more important to me because it is interesting and it's keeping it, I don't know, just new and fresh for me to try to discover new ways to get into different moves, like leading into that precision. It's like, I don't know, it's just a weird thing, but it's fun as hell to do. So that's why I'm going to continue to mess with that.
And what was your favorite spot on the tour?
I mean, the Red City was definitely an incredible spot to train. I wish we had more time to train there. But, you know, one of the cool spots we ran into was at the WPF camp. We did showed up at that school. Was it a school?
Oh yeah, the Flow POV video.
We did. We did a POV video for the Flow channel. You guys should check that out. Maybe not right this second, but definitely look it up. Yeah, I think we might have a couple videos from there. Want to see what we got?
Super interesting. It was a school that was under construction, so they're still building the school and adding on, and there's a lot of cool little like small to medium-sized roof gaps. Super interesting architecture, and yeah, it's just different than the kind of stuff that we get to train on at home. And that was definitely a cool spot.
What do you got? What did you do? This one. Let's plug it in. So this the dog's trying to get out. Set. Set. Like spins so much. It's so good. Maybe that's why I love your style, because you always spin.
Yeah. One more question. What do we got going on?
Cut to another clip from that roof. You don't like when I say sure.
Yeah, I hate that.
I just trust in you. Like,
Okay,
that's me going, yes,
thanks.
whatever you do, I believe in what you're doing.
All right, thank you. All right, roll in and action.
You don't online. So the next question we had was, how many hours a day did we train while we were on tour? Is that the question? Or
Yeah, that sir is the question.
we trained a lot.
Yeah.
Actually, right when we got to Krap Invaders 4, it was hot as hell.
Yeah.
So we trained quite a bit, but it was difficult to train long periods of time without really overheating.
I would say Krap Invaders was our least amount of training because of the heat. Because where the event is in Italy, it's surrounded by mountains, and it was a really hot summer. It was super humid, and everybody would train for kind of like 30-minute periods, right? Like
This will give you a sense of the crowd that was there. If you guys aren't familiar with Krap Invaders,
Krap is always the same thing every year. You know, it's just a slant wall tricking session, but I think that's awesome. I think that's great because I think it's really cool that there's now events that are happening that kind of have their own little niche thing. Like, if every jam was just a jam, I think eventually that would get boring. But it's kind of cool that Krap Invaders is like this freestyle event, and everybody likes to jam on the wall. So if you want to see some new wall tricks or some cool things laid down in that kind of environment, that's a place that you can go. And if you're not interested in that, there's a lot of other stuff, but that's definitely the highlight. The same way, wouldn't you say that at FAMJAM, there was the largest training section was bars? Yeah. So I don't know if it was an emphasis, but that was something that there was more of. So maybe FAMJAM's a great place to go, see a lot of people train around the city and really get some bar work in. Yeah, you know? For sure. I think that's cool that people are having events with different things that are attracting athletes. Yeah, you know?
Especially when you have people like Joe from Denmark showing up just murdering bars.
Yeah, that's true. Amazing stuff. He's really into the shin game as well.
Oh yeah, Joe's shin game.
Yeah, he is.
Cut to this clip talking about cliff diving. This is actually one spot at in Switzerland. Cory.
Yep, I'm ready. Yes. 2.5? I couldn't quite tell, but it was like rapid.
Triple something.
Yeah. But it was cool. Like, you had to actually climb around the fence. There was a barbed wire fence that was all locked off. It kind of hung over the side of the loading dock. So it was super slippery, and you'd have to like get a finger grip on that, swing your legs up under the fence, and like
sketchy, like
pull yourself onto the dock. It was super sketchy.
It was
super fun.
It was just wet.
Yeah.
Every time you
it's
tried to
probably
climb
the most slippery concrete I have ever felt in my life.
It's me doing a frog gainer, or AKA.
This is the second year winning this.
Yes! Well, good.
That's sick from standing.
That was the second year winning this.
Yes! Well, good.
That's sick.
Did we learn any new tricks on the tour?
Like everything in my Red Bull run.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was the thing. Everything we did learn, we pretty much tried to throw when we got to Santorini because we wanted people to see new stuff.
Yeah, I think that was both of our goal in Santorini, and even at Air Whip Challenge the week before was, let's do things that people aren't doing necessarily. And if we're doing tricks that are more standardized tricks, let's complement that with something that people aren't really doing. And yeah, you said it, we both did stuff in our runs that people aren't doing yet, or they've thought about but just haven't done in their run, you know. I've kind of caught a lot of heat for doing grabs, so it's like 50-50. Like, some of the grabs are well received, and other people are just hating on it. But the thing that, you know, I guess my defense of grabs is, it's different. Nobody's doing it. I know people have thought of it, but they haven't done it because I don't think that they had the confidence enough to throw these moves, and they are difficult. As long as you're doing like a flip trick and twisting with it, I think it's cool. If you're just jumping and grabbing your feet and not throwing anything else, it's definitely super lame. So yeah, we both learned lots of new stuff. Jesse developed the lunar eclipse while we were on tour. I refined that helix grab on tour, and definitely were a lot of new things for sure.
What was it like competing?
What was it like competing in art of motion? I think, yeah, let's both answer that because we both have two completely different answers.
Yeah, we definitely do. You know, for me, even just to be able to perform on a platform as big as the Art of Motion Santorini, it was huge. I mean, the tour for me kind of took on a life of its own in the sense that I am well known from internet, making tutorials, things like that. Just put out, actually, the Unfound video didn't come out until we were actually already in Europe. So, kind of went on a tangent to try to like prove myself as an actual legit athlete and not just some dude that's making tutorials. So the whole tour kind of climaxed at the point when I got to Santorini. I realized like I have an opportunity to throw down in front of everyone that is actually involved in the sport, because if you didn't watch Art of Motion, then you're, I don't know, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah.
You know, so there was a lot of pressure, I guess, a little bit of pressure for me, but at the same time, I didn't feel nervous in the sense that I went into it just doing the things that I want to do and the things that I do best. I think that's one thing that happens in competition a lot of the times, that people they try to go bigger, or they try to do things that other people in that same competition are doing to try to match them, and that was one thing I definitely didn't want to do. So I went into it, just played my own game, and actually the lunar eclipse to Cork was one of those like guts or glory, no guts, no glory sort of trick for me, and I knew I could either fail really bad on it, but I was confident enough that I'd be landing at least on my feet. So
I want to see it.
They can see the lunar
They
eclipse
can see it.
everywhere.
So let's do this.
Yeah,
Actually,
throw it down.
why don't you? We'll do this.
They can see that. Actually, that's like not highlighted very well in anything.
I'm
I found
gonna
one
show.
photo of the helix, and it's
My
like
first
the
photo.
worst quality image, but it's a beautiful composition. But like it's useless because it's like such horrible resolution.
Okay, so check it out. This is my first run. If you guys missed it, this is the run that I threw down in Santorini.
Yeah, and it has the lunar eclipse,
Including the lunar eclipse,
including the lunar eclipse,
which is
ladies and gentlemen.
second trick out of the gate. Here you go. I don't know what's doing. There you go.
Πηδάει πραγματικά από οροφή σε οροφή.
Εντάξει, νομίζω θα είναι στην πρώτη θέση σίγουρα.
Έδωσε τέτοια πρόβλεψη.
Όχι στο τελικό,
Είσαι
ενώ
σίγουρος?
στη βαθμολογία για τώρα.
Μονόζυγο, front flip. Πάρα πολύ καλός.
Πολύ καλά τα πήγε.
Μπράβο, πραγματικά ήταν η έκπληξη.
Ήτανε, ναι. Και αυτός ο αθλητής είναι πολύ καλός και νομίζω θα δούμε...
Τζέσι Λαφλέρ, λοιπόν, USA, Ηνωμένες Πολιτείες. Παντρεύτηκε 3 χρόνια, όπως είπαμε και πριν. Πριν 3 χρόνια. Για να δούμε, η γυναίκα του λες να είναι εδώ.
Μακάρι.
Αμέσως, πολύ δυναμικά μπήκε. Αυτό ήτανε.
Απίστευτο. Το είδα και χθες στην προπόνηση και εντάξει, είχαν μείνει όλοι.
Ο κόσμος έχει ενθουσιαστεί με τον Τζέσι. Πολύ καλό flow, δημιουργικός.
Και γρήγορος.
Πηδάει πραγματικά από οροφή σε οροφή.
Εντάξει, νομίζω θα είναι στην πρώτη θέση σίγουρα.
Έδωσε τέτοια πρόβλεψη.
Όχι στο τελικό,
Είσαι
ενώ
σίγουρος?
στη βαθμολογία για τώρα.
Μονόζυγο, front flip. Πάρα πολύ καλός.
Πολύ καλά τα πήγε.
Μπράβο.
So that was my idea on competition and what Santorini was. Do you want to show maybe your first run and then talk, and then your second run?
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
Yes, so let's check out the first run.
Which one is the first one? This one?
Yeah, so I had actually competed in Art of Motion for the first time in 2010. I competed in Boston.
Έτσι. Αυτό γιατί το κάνουν οι αθλητές?
Το κάνουμε όλοι συνήθως γιατί γλιστράνε τα παπούτσια και λόγω ζέστης και σκόνης κάτω τα μάρμαρα, οπότε δεν γλιστράζει τόσο εύκολα έτσι, με αυτό. Λοιπόν, έτοιμος να ξεκινήσει. Ωραίο side flip, ωραία προσγείωση.
Πολύ δυνατός, συνεχίζει, δυναμικός. Side flip.
Double leg, ωραίος, πολύ γρήγορος και πολύ δυναμικά πήγε.
Πολύ γρήγορος και ωραίο slide, μου άρεσε και εμένα πολύ. Χρησιμοποιεί όλες τις επιφάνειες, χρησιμοποιεί τα πάντα.
Ωραίο backflip 360.
Έχει πολύ ωραία tricks.
Ετοιμάζεται.
Νομίζω ότι πραγματικά εκφράζει πολύ τον εαυτό του.
Τεράστιο πραγματικά. Chip gainer, συνεχίζει.
Πάρα πολύ γρήγορος, πολύ ωραία tricks. Νομίζω ότι αυτοσχεδίασε και του πήγε πολύ όμορφα. Και το ευχαριστήθηκε. Αυτό έχει σημασία.
So one thing we just learned is that you guys can't hear us while those videos are playing, which is funny because we've been talking the whole time. But
Yeah.
so that was Cory's first run. And I want to talk a little bit about what that competition was for you.
Yeah, this competition was kind of like a culmination of the last few years of my training. I actually competed in my first Art of Motion in Boston in 2010, and 10 days before that competition, I broke my foot. And I went and competed anyways because at that time I didn't know if I'd ever be invited to an Art of Motion again. And I didn't do well. I had a broken foot, was super nervous. I was competing with all the guys that I looked up to and influenced my style in the beginning. So this is actually my fourth Art of Motion. I had taken 5th place last year at Art of Motion Nature, and I missed an invite to Art of Motion Santorini last year by 1 position. So I flew myself to the local qualifier, and I won the local qualifier last year, got into the main event, and then I missed top 8 by 1 position. I was sitting in 7th overall. The last 2 people to go was Lucy Rombert, my teammate, and Jason Paul, one of my good friends. So Lucy went, she bumped me to 8th, and then when I knew Jason was up last, there was no way I was making finals. But I was happy. I was really proud that I only missed top 8 by 1 position, and it let me know that I was capable of doing better. So this year, the same thing happened. Didn't make it through the online qualifiers to Santorini, and went to the Air Whip Challenge. Didn't make it into the top position in order to get an invite. So my teammate Victor Lopez came up to me at the after party in Sweden and said, "Look, man, I know this is really important for you and it's really important for Tempest. I want to help you get to Santorini." And so he bought me a plane ticket the next morning because he believed in what we were doing. And I made my way to Santorini. I did the local qualifier again. I won the local qualifier, and then went into the main event. A little bit nervous, but this time I think the biggest difference for me was when I stepped up to do my run, I was completely calm. I had no second thoughts, and I wasn't as nervous as I usually am. Usually I'm sick to my stomach. I feel like I'm going to throw up. I'm so worried I can't do anything. And this time, I wasn't nervous because I just wanted to do my style, and I was 100% competing with myself, trying to prove to me that I could do my style of movement and see how it fared. And it paid off. It worked out really well, and that was a huge surprise. So this was just showing me and everybody else that I do have what it takes to play with everybody else who's been in the game for a while.
Nice. Just grabbed us some pizza. Sorry.
Cheers.
Cheers. Let's cut to Cory's second run, finals run, the winning run.
Cory λοιπόν, ο Cory που τα πήγε πάρα πολύ καλά πριν.
Θα δούμε καλά πράγματα από αυτό.
Για να δούμε. Ώρα να τα δώσεις όλα, Cory. Μόλις ξεκινήσει με ένα jungle twist.
Yeah.
Αυτό ποιος θα σας το έλεγε τότε.
No clue. So even at the end, there's like this. I do like a little knee slide, dash precision. I didn't know that there was a drop on that side. Like I didn't know that handrail was there to land on. So everything in my second run after the first 2 moves was total improv.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's something that came up a lot was like, it seemed like everyone's first run was so good. And I think everyone who made finals was all new guys except for
Johan.
So I think what that was about was we all felt like the competition was going to be so big and so heavy that we all went hard as hell right away because we kind of had something to prove, being like the guys that haven't made it to the finals and stuff. So I actually, a lot of people don't know this, but I actually did bruise my heel really bad, like pretty severely on the lunar eclipse. I landed slightly backwards and came down on my left heel, which made my second run extremely difficult because every landing was like excruciating. Yeah. So, sometimes when you go big, you still don't get to go home until after your second run. But we just had an interesting question come in. Do you know who asked it? No. Okay, the question was, it seems that parkour isn't important anymore, and it's just all about flips and tricks. What are your thoughts? Should I go first?
Please.
Well, here's my deal. I'm one of these people who actually thinks that the training for parkour is what enables you to be so controlled within your flips. I think that your basics are essential. And, you know, when you do have people coming into the game, younger guys getting in, the first thing they want to do is learn how to flip. Okay, that might work too, but the way I did it was completely opposite. It was all parkour. It was about learning to be confident, controlled, and strong and useful in those senses. And then I started to flip a little bit, and then I started to get more creative and play with it. But in the same way that, you know, I think if you're not doing anything parkour related, then you're just either standing still doing flips, or you're, I don't know,
or you're just tricking.
Right?
Yeah, and not that tricking's bad, but that's what it is, right? If you're in the gym throwing it, you're tumbling and tricking. You know, if you're doing it outside in the environment, you're putting combos and lines together, and now you're free running. I think that parkour is important. Free running is an evolution of parkour. You can't have a monkey gainer, you know, or a Kong gainer without a Kong vault. You can't have a dash bomb without a dash vault. So to say that parkour is irrelevant, I think is you know, or not important. I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all, because I wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't start training with the old school parkour movements. But what I will say is, what I enjoy is doing tricks in my runs. You know, I do like doing tricks in my run. A precision's still a precision. You do a precision to front, that's not just flips. You just did a precision, and then you did a front flip. You know what I mean?
I think that's my thing too, is I love the mixture of the two. Like that Lunar Eclipse, the cork thing is the best example.
Yeah,
of
it's
that.
a 360 stride, and
It's
then,
so
and then a
sketchy.
cork.
Like if you're not confident, you can't do precisions, or you can't do moon strides, which is that single leg stride, then then things can go wrong.
True, and I think in the competition format, something that's really important to think about is when it comes to art of motion, it's called the art of motion. It's not called the art of parkour. You know, it's the art of moving. So you can move in your run however you want to run. You could see Joel. Joel has very strong parkour, but he still did a few flips in his run. And then his second run was mainly parkour.
Fifth?
Hey, Joel took 5th place.
Yeah.
You know, so I think parkour is important. It's very important. But for me, what I enjoy doing is a mixture. A little bit of parkour, a lot of flipping, but that's my style. But I did start exactly where almost everybody else starts, with all of my vaults and my climb-ups and my wall runs and my tic-tacs. So, yeah, I mean, another good case is GUP. Yeah. We all look at GUP as the guys when it comes to doing massive cat pass precisions and huge parkour movements. But then you have Fosky, and Fosky can do the hugest precisions and cat pass precisions you've ever seen. And then he can also do side flip double side and stomp it like it's his job. And he, I would say he has very strong parkour. And if he didn't, I don't know if he'd still have those same strengths and abilities.
That's crazy.
So
crazy.
Yeah.
Cool. You got any questions for us?
Injuries and rough falls throughout the tour.
That's a good one.
Well, I remember. No,
Just a Coca-Cola.
I remember when we were in Switzerland at the WPF camp. We were hanging out with Will Sutton, and you remember that we were just doing like strides over the sidewalk. There was like a little concrete island in between the driveway, and we were doing like stride pre's and stuff from like sidewalk, sidewalk.
Yeah.
And I did like stride pre dive Kong to the other side of the sidewalk, and when I put my hands down, my wrist just, I don't know, I jammed my wrist like super whack, and like for the next like 3 or 4 days I had this super crazy pinched nerve that if I moved my wrist side to side, it didn't, like I couldn't do anything. So I wasn't able to really use my wrist very well, and it's such a silly little injury, but it made such a big difference, you know, like throughout the tour. Besides that, a little bit of jumper's knee for me.
Oh yeah.
That was pretty much it, right?
Yeah, I think a lot. I mean, I definitely actually fell a couple times.
We have a good one of you falling in Switzerland.
I was gonna see if I could pull
at
it
the
up.
salmon ladders.
It's not.
Or I don't mean salmon ladder, guys. You guys might be thinking Ninja Warrior.
Yeah.
I meant falling on the fish ladders that are installed on rivers to help fish swim upstream.
Fish ladder.
Yeah, real salmon ladders, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen. Where was that? That was.
Jesse Pavel in the house.
Speaking of Jesse Peverill was just at that spot training.
Yeah, Jesse Pavel. You know the spot we're talking about. Jesse ate it pretty good at the fish ladders.
Where is
on the big
it?
side.
It's
On the big side.
Vienna. I know it's Switzerland, but I don't know what day that was.
It was the last day. It was the day we drove to Munich with Gizmo. It was early in the day. Do you play Xbox? I play Xbox.
Don't answer those questions.
Oh, hold on, we might have it. Nice.
Kongs aren't hard with long legs. I just want to answer that one. Kongs are hard with long legs because if you do a Kong properly, you're supposed to get low and explode upwards, and that's harder for people who have longer legs.
You guys want to see me fall?
Okay, Jesse's fall at the fish ladders.
The fish ladders. Jesus Christ.
Okay, set. Set. Oh, there it is! I'm in! God damn. Yo, your hat's coming. Your hat's coming. Where is it? Right here. Right here, right here. It's under the water. Oh, fuck.
Not only did I fall, but I lost my hat for a little while, but I found it. It was my crap hat. I got it back. So actually that fall looks a lot worse than it actually felt. I think we only had like a few scrapes from it.
Yeah.
That was it.
It's pretty, I think the more you train, obviously like anything else, like the longer you train without an injury, the more likely it is to happen just based on odds alone. But you're combating that by increasing your skill level. You're also increasing your skills, so you become better at the movements that you're training. So you're combating odds with come on, guys. Never mind, I'm just phrasing. I tend to do that a lot. Next question.
I also fell at the Red City.
Oh yeah, you had some good falls at the Red
Those-
City.
those
But we
are
can't
some-
give everything.
Yeah, we can't give you everything.
What's the next one?
What sports and physical activities did you do before getting into free running?
What sports and physical activities did you do before getting into free running?
How long have you been training, Cory?
I've been training free running and parkour for 3.5 years. I started March 7th, 2010.
So it's possible. So you're saying that someone who had no skill, has never did any athletic sports, could potentially come up in 3.5 years and win the Red Bull Arnold?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I didn't have no skills at all before I started, but
What were your skills?
I actually started when I was 5 years old. I started training in the traditional art of Tung Sido. It's a Korean style martial art. I did that for almost 18 years. I ran a martial arts school in Orange County up until the point I decided I wanted to pursue free running as a career. But I wrestled for a few years through middle school and high school. I played football. I ran track for a year. Played t-ball when I was young, and did martial arts for 18 years. And then, like every kid, played around with inline a little bit. wasn't amazing. Skated a little bit, So I was always into action sports, but I played traditional collegiate sports, and martial arts was my upbringing. But I do think that you can be amazing at this with no prior training. It just depends on how much time you want to put in and if you're really passionate about it.
Yeah, don't try to go too big too soon.
Yeah, don't go too big too soon. Agreed. What was your background, Jesse?
I pretty much come from an extreme sports background. I grew up. My dad was always interested in like anything that had a motor, so I grew up on like motorcycles and snowmobiles and quads and things like that. And that sort of led me into extreme sports. Freestyle motocross a little bit, and then I ended up selling my motorcycle and buying just a BMX bike. And I was actually probably doing bigger jumps on my BMX bike than I was on my motorcycle. So, but that sort of led me into skateboarding and rollerblading and surfing and snowboarding. And
You were pretty sick at rollerblading, actually, right? Like, let's talk about that for a second. You're like, yeah, that led me to skateboarding and I heard you were pretty legit.
So I did a little bit of rollerblading.
What was the extent of that?
I did probably. I kind of took it a little serious. There's probably like 3 years where I was dead serious about it, and then I went away to college, and I'd come home every summer and be the head instructor at a skate park for summer camp. So
Nice.
I'd spend all summer at a skate park just skating, skateboarding. But yeah, rollerblading sort of became my real outlet, and I think it might have been like the real way into free running for me. It was just an opportunity because I kind of skated the same way that I train now.
Yeah, and that's what I've noticed is when you really started trying to do more flips in your runs and in your style, everything that you're doing is super off axis, and some people say it's tricker style is off axis, but you don't do it off axis like a tricker. You do it like you're on a pair of rollerblades. Like that's very blatant to me in your style.
Yeah, and I think it's becoming more and more apparent through all these weird cross-leg things and some of the other things that I'm getting into right now. So no, I think it's cool, and I think the most interesting thing about it was that it wasn't until this last 6 months to a year that I really like kind of embraced that idea of like it's okay that I'm not doing things perfect and on off axis and it's different and it's crazy and people aren't doing this that way or no one even knows what that just was. Like all of a sudden I realized, well, that's those actual golden moments. Those are the things that I have that other people don't now. And
then I saw you like a week later at something else and we kind of started talking.
Yeah. Actually, well, what happened with that? You booked the Nike job.
Booked the Nike job.
And then the next one.
You did some MTV thing, right?
Yeah.
And then the next one was the Champs commercial.
The Champs commercial was the big one.
That was really that's where we became friends.
That's where we became friends.
That's where it happened.
The Champs commercial thing, there's footage of that on my old vlog that Making an MLA channel.
Yeah.
I think they're still up there. Champs commercial, whatever. But there's footage of Cory, because you came on, you were
so
for that.
Me and you both came in and auditioned for Parkour.
Yeah.
And so we were auditioning for a Parkour role, and they showed us a really old Adidas ad with some of the original Yamakaze guys, and they're like, "Can you do this?" And we're like, "Yeah, we can do that." Like, of course, that's what we do. And so the director pulled me and you aside because I think we had great auditions, but we had like the credentials compared to the other guys that were in the room, and they pulled us aside and were like, "No, but this is what we want to accomplish. Can you guys help us achieve that?" And this is like at the callback.
Yeah.
And we were like, "Yeah, absolutely." And so I actually got hired as an actor.
Oh, yeah,
I got hired as the best friend, and so we did a bunch of stupid little leapfrog gags and tandem bicycle crap. And you were hired as the parkour guy, doubling the main guy, right?
It was actually like a green screen thing. So they had me in like a green mesh suit, one of those. What was things called?
Oh, morph suit.
Yeah, morph suit. Essentially a green morph suit and some Champs clothing, doubling the main actor.
Yeah, and I did my stuff in the morning, and you were there, but you didn't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had breakfast, chilled. You were just hanging out, and when I was done, they said, "Oh, well, you can go home. You're all set for the day." And then I talked to one of the other guys, and they were like, "Well, if you want to stick around, just in case Jesse gets hurt doing something, we'll put you in." And halfway through the day, like I was like, "Do you guys even have a parkour coordinator? Like somebody to help you with these lines? Like you don't have a stunt coordinator, don't have a parkour coordinator." And so they let me stick around and help with the action. And I think they sent you out with second unit to go shoot some stuff.
Yeah.
And the next thing I know, they're like, "Cory, where's Cory? Where's Cory?" And they sent us over there, and me and you created that shot with the second unit director. And that was probably one of the most like parkour heavy moments in that spot. And then we just hung out for a few hours afterwards, waiting for Bree, right?
I think we might go with Bree.
Yeah. We were waiting for you to come pick Jesse up from the job, and we just chilled in the car and like chatted for like an hour and a half. And that's where we became actual friends.
That's how it happened, guys.
And that's how it happened.
And that's how the bromance started.
Happily ever after, really.
Ooh, man, are they from the U.S.? They might get a chance to see that.
Yeah.
Drop some bombs on 'em.
Yeah. Are you from the USA?
Here's the deal.
No.
I absolutely love training with Farang. They, I think I looked up to Jason before I met him. Who? Julian Anderson.
Where are you from?
The reason why we're asking where you're from is because This is maybe exclusive. Is this exclusive?
This is like the official announcement, I guess. And now it makes it real. We always do this. We just say something and then we have to do it.
Well,
go for it. Please, do the honors.
We're going to be doing a winter gym tour. As of right now, the people who will be going on tour across the USA, sorry, you guys outside, across the pond, is me, Cory, Jason, and Pasha. So,
yeah.
Tempest and Farang right now are pretty much locked in on this tour, and we're trying to secure some cool sponsorships and maybe get a tour bus with some cool stickers on
Stuff.
but the plans are still being figured out. We're going to be hitting up pretty much like Parkour or Freerunning exclusive gyms.
Yeah.
William's from LA.
Well,
Yeah.
William, you're from LA.
So
That's
LA.
not Julie.
Julian.
Julian. Oh, good.
From
Oh,
LA.
oh, Julian's from LA. Good. So you'll get to see us. Come to the Pro Takeover this year. Come to the Academy, man.
Also, another announcement: there will be another Pro Takeover. So.
Yes. Yeah, so this year there will be another Pro Takeover. There is going to be a new Tempest Freerunning Academy.
Whoa!
And
Dropping all those bombs.
that's not a bomb. Diddy already posted it on Instagram.
Okay, cool.
No, and there is going to be the tour with us and with Farang. We're going to hit 6 to 8 parkour and freerunning gyms, or we're willing to go to gyms that have parkour and freerunning programs. They might not be a parkour gym, but for sure the bulk of the tour will consist of gyms that are dedicated to parkour and freerunning. The reason is, in the wintertime in the States, it's mostly snowy and cold for the most part, so can't really jam outside, but we will be coming to you. So if you guys have any more questions about that, or you frequent a gym that teaches freerunning and parkour, let them know we are coming, and let them know you want us to come to your gym.
Yeah, I think you can actually send an email to the tempestprotour@gmail.com if you guys have any questions or you want us to come to your gym. Cool.
So there's that.
Armitage wants to know what
Chase, what's up, dude? Haven't seen you in a while. The Pro Takeover is looking to be around the last week of January or the first week of February. So we're trying to keep it in the same time frame as it was last year. We just have a few things that we're waiting to hear back on that will solidify that date, and it does have to do with the takeover itself. So as soon as we get the official word, we'll let you guys know. But you can look at the end of January, the beginning of February.
Keep your calendar open, Chase.
Yeah, you better come this year, man.
Be there. What else?
Dude, that was weird. We both looked back and then back at the camera at the exact same time. That was super sketchy.
Great.
What was what?
In the works. Well, you know what else
what's
is
in
in
the
the works is a new shoot.
This is what's
That's been announced too. Tempest. I guess it's still kind of under. It's been announced.
there's pictures. They've leaked the
Pictures.
photos.
There's a shoe coming. A Tempest shoe.
It's true.
It's pretty badass.
It's true.
But that's all the information I have for you right now.
That's true.
Oh, jeez.
And I guess in the works, you had mentioned earlier the documentary from the tour. Since this is about the tour,
Yeah, this really we should talk about that.
actually no, we are getting a lot of information out there. But documentary. So officially, we were going to release our tour video as a 6-part documentary on YouTube. It's still going to be released. It's being edited as we speak. Today was the first day our editor started making selections, but because our story changed while we were on tour, what we thought we were documenting turned into something completely different and actually better. We were having some super pro guys at a company in Orange County, California, called Dark Brothers Entertainment. They are really good friends of ours. They're young guys. They're ambitious. They're very much like us, just working in a different field. That's Morgan. And they're editing it for us, and our goal is to show it at a few film festivals to help spread what parkour and freerunning is and what it's done for people and how important it is to people. We want to help grow the community, so we're going to show it at some film festivals, and hopefully we talked to a producer a couple days ago. They're going to help us show it privately in a few theaters around the U.S. and maybe even Europe. That would be amazing. So that's our big plans for our footage, you know?
Yeah, and I think we should talk a little bit more about that because we kind of, what was interesting is that we started shooting like interviews like 2 weeks before we even left the tour.
Yeah.
We shot interviews the day we left. We started just thinking about this documentary, and we didn't really know what it was about. It was just about, it was called From Here to There, and it was more about this same idea as like, well, going on tour, what's changing in our life, where we came from, and now where we are, and where we ended up being standing next to each other on a podium at the Red Bull Art of Motion, the biggest
crazy,
competition in freerunning. So yeah, so it definitely changed, and we're gonna look through. We're gonna find those little story pieces, like maybe the moment when I discovered the lunar eclipse, or the changes in styles, or the mind state that we kind of.
Yeah, I mean, it very much was. It has elements of our original story, and it also has this really cool underlying story about friendship and perseverance. And me and you both came from two completely different places. We lived two different lives, but through freerunning and parkour, we've kind of come to a very similar place, and we were able to go on this journey together. And it just so happens that we had the results at the end of the year that we had. So that's the story that we're going to be telling.
Yeah,
It's that story through movement, you know.
Yeah, it's a good one. So hopefully the editor does a good job.
Marcus, don't mess this up. Questions.
Wrap it up soon. Let's give away something. I got some
Yes.
stuff. I got some shit.
Everybody likes free stuff, especially free runners. Jamie says yes. He's shaking his head. Hold on, we got to show Jamie. He's been here the whole time. This is Jamie. Jamie, where are you? Oh shit,
Oh, no.
Power. What's up?
Pizza.
It's just sitting by the pizza.
No big deal.
Yeah, so Jamie and his partner Giles make amazing videos. They work with Tim Sheaf very often. They're part of the Flow Network, and even before that, these guys have been making incredible videos for the last few years. So if you've never watched a Visit video, you guys need to look them up and and do it. Do it. They have good stuff.
All right, so I'm going to show you guys something.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh man,
First,
this is a good one.
this is going to be on
It's a
you.
good giveaway.
All right, so we're going to make, it's not going to be the first one, but we're going to try to make it the first one. The first one that can tell me what this video is from, or what this relates to, what video this object is from, or the first one that Bree sees that writes it, will win this red Laflairparkour bandana. Okay? This specific one. Ready? Ready?
3, 2, 1. Go, 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 go.
Yeah, there's a delay, so we'll just have to wait and see.
I need more pizza.
More pizza! What else? I have a shirt too. Maybe we'll save the shirt for the very end.
Nice.
It's a delay. We're getting to those now. Nice. Here it comes. I'm texting. Rich King.
That's not where that match was.
Ken Baker just asked me when's the live feed. Alright.
Now.
Ken Baker, e-news everybody. No, he just asked a while ago when the live feed was. Alright, cool, let's move on. You get anything yet? Man, this
Should we do
delay
it
is
again?
crazy.
Is it still a delay?
Okay, it's still the delay. But then they're gonna have to wait for
Just showing it
This is another bandana.
right.
He's gonna tell me that he wants, but we'll have to find him.
Just message. I guess you could message him on that.
Next thing, Laflairparkour t-shirt.
Nice.
I don't have any Tempest gear to give away, sorry guys. But I do have my own shirts, so I'm willing to throw those away for free.
Throw him away.
Throw them away, just throw them away. I think for the t-shirt, we're going to do something a little bit more important to not just us, but the sport itself. So I don't know how many people we even have left right here, but we are going to wrap this thing up. And one thing that we wanted to try to accomplish while doing this live feed was to get to a lot more people to go like and share the Red Bull Art of Motion page on Facebook. The reason being is that it is such an amazing event and opportunity for us athletes that do get to go there, and I hope you guys get to
Future generations
enjoy watching, obviously the future guys. But it is something that if the page doesn't build an audience, that Red Bull is probably not going to continue to do. So I think they actually wanted us to get
50,
up to 50,000 likes for them to kind of redo it again next year. We had a good spike after the initial competition, but I would like for you guys to, in order to win the shirt, and I will do my research, you could tag me within it, and tag me and Cory
tag us both
on Facebook in your share of the actual Red Bull Art of Motion Facebook fan page. So share the page, add us at it within that comment, and yeah, just make sure to hit like, because we want to do it again, and we want to have that opportunity for the future. And
I want to see these guys do it.
Really,
we're done.
The bigger thing is that we're trying to get more of these competitions, not just one a year. And with a bigger audience and a following, or an apparent visual, apparent audience that they can look at and go, okay, well, we do have a big group of people that want to see more of these. Then maybe we can do more and more often, and maybe even closer to you. So go hit like on that page, share it, add us, let us know, and I will pick one of you guys to get one of these Laflairparkour t-shirts, whatever size you want. And yeah, that's it.
Sweet.
Cool.